I endorse Chase Oliver as the best way to beat Joe Biden.
I endorse Chase Oliver as the best way to beat Joe Biden. And the woman whose quote that can be attributed to, joining us live right now, the chair of the Libertarian National Committee, Angela McCardle. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. What does it mean when you say, I endorse Chase Oliver as the best way to beat Joe Biden?
Well, there's been considerable backlash over our presidential nominee, Chase Oliver. And my duty as chair of the National Libertarian Party is to support our candidate. And I need to do that in a way that, what's a good way to put this? I need to do that in a way that is consistent with reality and how our delegates and our members feel about it. And I think that this is the best way to thread that needle. People, the MC crowd, people who are a little bit more culturally conservative, they're very upset. And I need to hold everything together, as the leader of the party. And the truth is, and I've looked at the polling data, and some of it's publicly available, some of it's not, and has been gifted to me by some very gracious people. The truth is, Chase is going to pull 2-1 from Biden, as opposed to Trump. And it's going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging to get libertarians to vote for him. It's going to be challenging to get independents who are right of center to vote for him. Kennedy's in the race. What makes the most sense is to lean into the spoiler effect for Joe Biden and the Democrats. And Joe Biden is objectively awful. So no one should be upset about this if anybody's going to engage with this strategy in good faith.
The last time you and I spoke, you came on my show. It was before Donald Trump had spoken at the Libertarian Convention. The convention's over now. What was your take, your reaction to Donald Trump coming up on stage and saying, well, one, I'm a libertarian, which, nobody's a real libertarian but me, obviously. But when he made all of these promises about Ross Ulbricht, a libertarian in the cabinet, but putting us on the parole board, for God's sakes, your reaction?
It's amazing. I mean, that's never happened in the course of history. That's never happened in American politics, where you've had a front-runner presidential candidate come and speak to a third party to try to appeal to them and make promises. And those were promises that he and his team have conveyed to me for a few months now. It wasn't just out of the blue. It's not something his speechwriters just threw up on a screen. These were talks that we've had. And I've told them, I can't endorse you. I literally chair another political party, but I can tell you what small L libertarians want to hear. I can tell you what you need to say and promise and do to gain votes in the broader liberty movement with conservatives who are disillusioned by you, with people who you want the support from. I can tell you what needs to happen. And they took it on good faith and they're doing it.
So Donald Trump has made a lot of political promises to the Libertarian Party and to the libertarian movement generally. You're working to try and use your presidential candidate, who is left-leaning and could steal from Biden voters, to reelect Donald Trump as president of the United States. So it is safe to say that you would like to see Donald Trump reelected so that he can fulfill these promises?
Well, I'd like to see the promises fulfilled. I have to be very careful how I speak about these sort of things. I have to only endorse the libertarian candidate. But I've said in the past that Donald Trump is objectively better than Joe Biden. And I know that people are going to scream when they hear that. Oh, that's not fair. They're both evil statists. Okay. There are things that Donald Trump did that we're all very unhappy with. But who's listening to me and saying that they would like to course correct in some areas? It's not Joe Biden. It's Donald Trump. So until we, live in a world where we're going to get, 34% of the popular vote in a three-way election, I'm going to take what I can get while also strategically advancing my candidate.
Angela, I like to talk a lot on this show about how there are stated preferences that people have, and then there are revealed preferences that people have. And when it came to the question of supporting a Chase Oliver versus a Donald Trump, I think for a lot of Libertarian Party members, their stated preferences were things like Donald Trump is a warmonger, he's a criminal. I believe Dave Smith said explicitly that Donald Trump should be in jail for the rest of his life. And the Mises Caucus and many of them who told us that war was the most important issue for quite a long time are not supporting Chase Oliver. As a matter of fact, I saw you share a meme yesterday on your Instagram account, which was sort of depicting Dave Smith as a puny little dog who didn't have the guts to support Chase Oliver. And so the revealed preference seems to be from those right libertarians that Donald Trump is not quite as evil as Chase Oliver is, which I find quite confusing considering the messaging that we've been getting.
I don't actually think it's that confusing. I think that war is incredibly important, and a lot of people believe, whether or not it's true, that if Donald Trump had been in office, October 7th wouldn't have happened. There wouldn't be a bunch of dead women and children in Gaza. It wouldn't be flattened and blown apart by Israel. That the war in Ukraine wouldn't have happened either. And it's not perfect by any means. Like, I don't agree with his foreign policy positions on Iran, for example. But however you square it, however we get to it.
But Trump supports Israel, and
He does.
Chase Oliver does not. He has mirrored the rhetoric from the Mises Caucus, the right libertarians, and called it a genocide in Gaza, and very much is on board with the whole anti-war message, much more so than Donald Trump.
More so, yes. Not perfectly, though. But I don't want to dress down my candidate publicly. I'm going to do what I can to support him in a very strategic way. I think that the anti-war issue, people are looking at realistic gains that they can make and that it is important to them, but they're looking at it through the framework of reality. Messaging is very important. Anti-war messaging is very important. And when someone misses the mark a little bit, in the eye of the beholder, of course, they're gonna look elsewhere. And the delegates base all over. But
I mean, why?
Not 100%.
I guess my question is, why do you think, because you posted that meme yesterday, so you're obviously poking the bear a little bit there. Why do you think?
I mean, it's a meme. Like, can we not laugh at ourselves?
Sure.
That's another thing that needs to be injected.
But memes are powerful, Angela, and memes do mean something. You were trying to make a statement there. You were calling him out specifically. You had the name on there, so I'm trying to understand what you were trying to say there. I can understand there was humor. I thought it was funny, but my question, but why do you think Dave is not supporting Chase?
Oh, I mean, Dave has stated very clearly why he's not supporting Chase. He does not like the things that have come out of Chase's campaign. But I'm not going to come on your show and drag Chase Oliver indirectly by quoting Dave. That would be a no-go for me. It's Dave's position. My intent with memeing it and poking fun at it is to bring some levity to the situation. Everybody's super pissed off right now. People are talking about, noting him, not having their candidate on the ballot. I've got to step in as the leader and do something to take the tension out of the room, which means sacrifice Dave Smith, who already owned up, to the part that he played in it. It's fine. Sacrifice him in a single meme, clown Chase a little bit with memes, clown myself in memes, put on a literal clown nose and own that this is like a clown show, and that's okay. And make the most of it. And we have been really missing fun, I think, in the Libertarian Party since Dave decided he wasn't going to run. You can't just continue to push the LP wheel, Angela, without any joy.
I have utmost respect for you. There's a reason why you got across the finish line and the Mises Caucus preferred candidate did not. You have something that Michael Rechtenwald did not have. And I think people now can finally see this now that the smoke and the mirrors of the political process has played itself out. But in regards to you've been dealt a bad hand and you now have to make the best of a bad hand. I think you're making actually a pretty damn good play with the hand that you have been dealt this season. And I applaud you for it. But I guess I'm just curious, how are you going to deal with the backlash that's inevitably going to come to you to answer questions about what Chase has said about things when it comes to transitioning children and when it comes to drag queen story hours? What's going to be the messaging strategy on that one?
So I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with that. I do not see eye to eye with our candidate on that stuff. I think it's great that he wants to slash government spending. I 100% believe him. I think it's great that he's pretty good on the anti-war position. I'm down for that. And there are cultural things that we just strongly disagree on. And I hope that he improves, that he changes his mind.
You've said things like you want to sort of maximize what Chase can do in blue states, but if you really truly want to impact the outcome of the election so that Donald Trump has the opportunity to make good on the promises that he made to you, then it's really the swing states that you ought to be focusing on, right?
My swing state strategy is not quite up for public discussion, but it is definitely in the works.
Okay, can you at least hint around the edges here, Angela? The good people of the United States are listening right now, and they're eager to feel confident in this secret strategy.
Well, what do you think is going to happen in swing states?
I don't know. I'm not the chair of the Libertarian National
If the
Committee.
data shows that Chase Oliver pulls more from Biden supporters, 2 to 1 than he does from Trump supporters, what do you think might happen in a swing state?
Same thing.
It might. It
Yes.
might. And I have quite a bit of leverage in this situation, and I intend to use it. I'll wield it like a cudgel if I need to. We will get libertarian representation, and we will support our candidate.
Who, if Donald Trump asked you, would you nominate to be in the cabinet?
I'd love to see Colonel Douglas McGregor involved in anything foreign policy related. I don't think Secretary of State is going to go to him, but I would love that. I would love to see Corey DeAngelis involved in the Department of Education. I think that would be fantastic. I've been working on a list, of libertarians that we can give to his team. The real challenge, though, and I say this with love, is that so many of the libertarian thought leaders that we adore and revere do not have a lot of experience with corporate management, mergers, slashing departments, things of that nature. They're academics, they're highly intelligent, but you've got to have experience maybe managing a law firm, like I've had, maybe downsizing a department, slashing a corporation, like a mini Elon Musk, something like that. So those are the sort of people that we need. We need people who are ideologically hardcore, but who have real business experience, downsizing and liquidating.
Would you serve if Donald Trump tapped you?
I have not offered my name. I think that I am best suited to continue in this role of making advances, for libertarianism and serving other people up.
Got
So
it.
it's not a hard no, but I have said, let's find someone else. Don't consider me.
How's ballot access going?
It is going, actually, it's going okay. It's going slightly better than I thought it would be. Yeah. And we
Okay.
still have, I don't think we've quite reached the 40 state mark, but that's normal because some of them just come in sort of in the last like 4 or 5 months. We're on track. We're doing better in New York than I thought we would be doing. So we'll see what happens there.
How much are Jill Stein, the Green Party, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. playing right now in your ballot access strategy?
Quite a bit. It's a difficult year for us when it comes to the general election. And I don't even think you can blame Chase for that. It's really Kennedy. Kennedy is going to suck up a huge amount of the protest vote, the independent vote. It's reality.
If Donald Trump becomes president of the United States and takes the oath of office in early January, um, what will you do?
Well, I guess I'll be on pins and needles waiting to hear about those cabinet appointments, but I'll continue to communicate with his team and work with him to make sure that he fulfills his promises and also to make sure that he is appreciated and feels that from the broader liberty movement because we can be very barbed, we could be, like very rude and caustic, and we need to show gratitude and give credit when credit is due.
Angela, what happens to the Mises caucus now in the aftermath of this election? I've seen many of them say they can't support the LP candidate. I mean, you came to power in the party on the back of the Mises caucus. A lot of these right libertarians, they can't support Chase Oliver. They've, sort of backed away, a lot of them. I mean, what happens next for the Mises
I mean,
caucus?
it's like the meme. Get in, loser. We're going to stop Biden. Like, get in my clown car. It's a suicide mission. Join my suicide squad. Like, this is awesome. This is fun.
Sounds very appealing, Angela. Listen, you're so sweet and generous with your time, Angela, and I'm so grateful that you came on the show. Even though there was a lot of backlash to the last time that you came on, you've got just huge brass balls, Angela, and I respect that. But knowing that I only get you for such brief periods, is there anything of critical importance, of utmost importance, that you think our listeners should know before we let you go?
If you're upset because Chase Oliver is our nominee and you're thinking about leaving the party, that's the wrong decision. Join the party, join the LP, because we are the ones that are pushing the Trump campaign in the right direction. If you want to see Ross Ulbricht freed, if you want to see Julian Assange freed, join the LP and help us continue to be the most powerful voting bloc in the country, because that's what we are right now.
It's a good message, Angela, but maybe the suicide clown car is not the best one. Angela McCardle, chair of the Libertarian National Committee, good luck. Let us know if there's anything we can do to help get the message out. We hope you'll come back again really soon. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. What do you all think of Angela McCardle?